Imagine it's 2 in the morning. You're sound asleep, lost in a dream, when suddenly a deafening sound rips you from your sleep. It's the sound of church bells. Not just one, but every single church bell in your town, all ringing at the exact same time. You look out your window. There's no wind. The streets are empty. There is no explanation. The most terrifying part? This isn't just a story. This actually happened. Let's travel back in time to the late 1800s, to a quiet, unassuming town somewhere in Europe. Back then, nights were different. There were no cars humming on the streets, no bright streetlights cutting through the darkness. There was just silence and stillness. But on one particular night, that profound silence was shattered into a million pieces. Across the town, every church bell, big ones, small ones, ancient ones that hadn't chimed in decades, all began to ring wildly. It wasn't a gentle, rhythmic tolling. It was a frantic, chaotic clamor, as if they were being pulled and shaken by 100 invisible hands. The sound was inescapable, echoing off the cobblestones and through the narrow alleyways. People were jolted awake in a state of pure panic. They stumbled out of their beds, hearts pounding in their chests. Some ran outside in their nightclothes, their faces pale with fear, trying to understand what was happening. Others, believing it was a divine sign, a message from God, dropped to their knees and began to pray. The bells didn't ring in harmony. They clashed and crashed against each other, creating a terrifying symphony of chaos, as if some unseen presence was sweeping through the town, from one church steeple to the next. The local priests, bewildered and frightened, rushed to their churches. They fumbled with keys, unlocked the heavy wooden doors, and burst inside. What they saw only deepened the mystery. The massive bell ropes were swinging back and forth, as if someone had just let them go, but no one was there. The bell towers were empty. The doors had been locked from the inside. The windows were sealed shut. Even more unnerving, when they grabbed the ropes and tried to stop the deafening noise, the bells wouldn't stop ringing. They fought against the priest's grip, continuing their wild, frantic dance. The sheer force was unnatural. It was as if the bells themselves had come alive. Speculation ran wild through the terrified community. Was it a warning? A harbinger of death? Some whispered that it foretold a great tragedy. Others thought it must be an earthquake, but the ground beneath their feet was perfectly still. There were no storms on the horizon, not a breath of wind in the air, no signs of animals that could have caused such a disturbance. There was just the sound, the impossible sound of bells ringing all by themselves. Then, just as suddenly as it began, it stopped. A complete and total silence fell over the town, more profound and eerie than before. Every bell went quiet at the exact same moment. The town held its breath, waiting. But nothing else happened. The sun rose the next morning on a town that was completely unchanged. There was no damage, no fires, no sign of what had caused the night's terror. There was only the memory and 1,000 unanswered questions. To this day, the event remains one of history's strangest unsolved mysteries. Historians and scientists have debated it for over a century. Was it some rare, localized atmospheric phenomenon that we still don't understand? Was it a case of mass hysteria, a shared delusion sparked by a single explainable sound? Or was it something else entirely? Something far darker, an entity that passed through the town that night, leaving behind only a chilling memory and one question that still echoes through time. Who or what rang the bells? What do you think happened that night? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you love diving into the unknown, make sure to subscribe for more mysteries.